Hey guys, welcome back to yet another reading vlog. So I'm gonna apologize way in advance that this one's gonna be kind of a shit show, mainly because this is actually Thursday evening already, and the readathon, the witchathon, was supposed to start yesterday morning. I meant to start yesterday morning, didn't happen. I got so busy trying to start yesterday night, completely forgot. This morning I was also really busy and was rushing out the door, and now here we are tonight, Thursday evening, and I haven't started any of the books that I was hoping to pick up for the readathon. Also, I'm feeling a little under the weather, so I don't really know how much of the reading I'll get done. Plus, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I am super congested, and I don't know if my voice is feeling or sounding like that, but I am just not feeling great right now. So anyways, we'll just see. I don't really know how much of this readathon I can salvage, but as of right now, not off to a good start. So just to recap, these are some of the books I'm trying to read. I'm trying to read this one. This is a literary fiction, and I'm also trying to read this one as well, Descendant of the Crane. And then the last book that I'm trying to read, that's a physical book by the way, is Red Sister. The other two books I'm reading are the group book, and that's going to be an ebook, as well as You Asked for Perfect, and that is also an ebook. So the thing about ebooks right now is that I'm currently in the middle, like more than halfway done. I'm like 80% done with this another ebook that I'm reading, and so I don't really want to start another ebook when I'm almost done with this one. So I'm going to hold off on the ebook reading until I'm actually done with the one I'm currently reading. But in terms of my physical book, the book I'm currently reading right now is this giant thing, and I am doing a separate reading vlog on that, so I will leave that to a different video. But I'm trying to debate which one I'm in the mood for reading in terms of the three that I picked out originally for this readathon. I'm kind of in the mood for this one right now because this one seems like it will be lighter. I mean, I might be completely wrong, by the way, because this book is all about assassins and this book sounds intense, but the thing is, Prairie of the Orange Tree is also kind of intense, and I don't know if I can read two intense books. Not to mention my ebook that I'm reading is also intense because I'm currently reading Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan, and that one is a really intense book as well. So they're all three really intense books, and I don't know if I can do this one on top of that. But at the same time, this one is supposed to be like a Chinese inspired Game of Thrones, so I don't know if I'm like in the mood for this one either. I feel like the mood I'm mostly in for right now is contemporary, just because it's kind of different from what I'm currently reading. Unfortunately though, the only one I'm reading that's contemporary is You Asked for Perfect, and that one is an ebook, and I don't want to pick that one up yet. So like I said, this reading vlog is going to be off to a really rough start. And the last book that I'm trying to kind of pick up is this one as well. This is literary fiction, so I don't even know if I want to pick up this book. Like, I am so not in the mood for this one at all. So I think out of the three, I think I'm gonna try to go for this one, and we'll see how this goes. I'm going to try to read a little bit tonight. If not tonight, then definitely on my commute to and from work tomorrow. So if I read it solidly during my commute, then I can probably get a good chunk of this done. So we'll see how that goes. But as of right now, that's my update. This is by far like the worst beginning of a reading vlog that I've ever done, because one, I'm sick, two, I'm like super late with this like start of it. It started yesterday and obviously not gonna happen. Obviously it didn't happen. So anyways, that's kind of my update for now. I will update you guys later, probably sometime tomorrow, possibly, hopefully, when I get some more of this done, and hopefully this is good. I mean, this is a Chinese inspired Game of Thrones, and I really like Game of Thrones. So anyways, that's my update for now. I'm going to try to update you guys tomorrow sometime, hopefully, and hopefully I can also try to salvage this reading vlog a little bit, because as you can clearly tell, it's off to a rough start. Another update for witchathon, which honestly I'm not doing so hot, to be honest, because I just finished reading my ebook, the one that was like 80% done. So I'm about to start You Asked for Perfect, but haven't picked that up yet. But I plan to read that in the next few days when I'm doing commutes and stuff. But I did pick up Descendant of the Crane. I'm currently on page 75, so really not much at all, to be honest. But now I can give you guys a better update in terms of what this book is about, because all it says so far, I think, is that it's a Chinese inspired Game of Thrones. And while I do see some sort of like Game of Thrones aspect to it, but I don't really compare it between the two. Just very different. I mean, there's certain aspects to it that's very similar, you know, but the general scheme of things, I think it's very different. So this book follows a princess. Her name is Hasina, and her father just passed away, but she has some evidence to prove that her father was actually murdered and killed. And so she tries to like lead this investigation by basically enlisting this aid of a soothsayer. And a soothsayer is like a person with like magical abilities, and the thing is, magic, like all magic, has been outlawed for centuries. And also because her father just passed away, she is now thrust into like queendom, like she becomes the queen because she's the eldest princess, and so there's all this power as well. And she's like, I guess her kingdom is also very unstable, so it just kind of follows that right now. I mean, I haven't gotten really far, but she also somehow enlists this aid of this convict to basically be an investigator and to like represent her when they do the trials and investigations of like what happened to her father. And there's also a lot of like political strife in terms of not within the kingdom. I mean, yes, there is, because I think she can't trust her family. There's like certain people in her family that she doesn't really trust. Also the fact that on the borders of her country or her kingdom, there are like these skirmishes that are happening right now, and so she's also trying to like clamp that down as well. And there's a lot of stuff going on. It's kind of hard to get into, to be honest, because I'm 75 pages in, but I'm not fully invested in this book as of yet. The story has not sucked me in. The writing style is also kind of not the greatest, I would say, but we'll see. I mean, I still have high hopes for this, but I'm really hoping that this will be really good, because this is another fantasy, like Asian inspired fantasy, that I'm really anticipating. So I have high hopes for this, and if this is not great, I'm gonna be very disappointed, because I literally have yet to read a really good Asian inspired fantasy novel recently. I mean, last two ones I read was what, Empress of All Seasons and Girl King, and they're both really bad. So hopefully this one will be better, but as of right now, I'm kind of on the fence. I mean, I'm only 75 pages in anyway, so I can't even say that much, but yeah, anyways, I'm gonna go read some more, and hopefully I will be able to update you guys a little bit more as the day goes by. So I just want to give you guys a really quick update in terms of my reading for the witchathon. So I'm still reading Descendant of the Crane. I'm currently on page 162. So I actually have quite like mixed feelings about this book. I'm not really sure if I like it so much, mainly because it's a little choppy. Like the way how it's written so far seems that it follows, you know, a chain of events, but then suddenly it'll jump to something else entirely. And there are a lot of times where I'm just very disoriented and just confused in terms of what's going on. I had to go back and reread. So I'm just not sure if that's just like a writing style and I'm just not a fan of, or if it's just actually choppy. So I'm not the biggest fan of that. But the one thing that I do really like right now is like the references for like Chinese history and the Chinese language as well, because I mean, it is Chinese inspired. So there are a lot of times when they are actually speaking Mandarin and I understand it, because I'm like, oh yeah, actually, you know, like I recognize the words, what they're saying, etc. So I really do like that, because it definitely allows like, that connection in terms of like my own background versus the book as well. So that part I really like. But the story itself, the plot, I don't know, I'm just like not connecting, I guess, with the storyline as much, and the characters, like I really don't care too much with the characters. So that's kind of my input so far with this book. I'm about halfway through, so I don't know, we'll see. I mean, this is a little bit slow, I think, and it's already Monday evening, so I hope to finish it. I think, when does this readathon ends? I think it ends on Wednesday, so hopefully by the time Wednesday comes around, I'll be done with this book. But as of right now, it is a bit slow on my end, and I'm just not really connecting and invested with the story as of yet. But on the other hand, I did start my ebook for You Asked for Perfect by Laura Silverman. I am enjoying this book so much more, actually. It's like I'm 31% according to my Kindle, and I'm liking it so much. It's so adorable, and I really like the diversity. I feel like in the beginning, I wasn't sure if I liked it as much, but like in the beginning, the first like 5% or so, almost every single character that was introduced was like an LGBT representation, which I was like, great for diversity, but it felt like the author was pushing that on me, you know what I mean? Not just that, but the way how she introduced the characters, she will literally tell you, oh, this person likes guys, or this person likes girls, etc., versus just kind of showing you, but she'll tell you. So I don't know, I didn't really like that part in the beginning, but once I got over that and as the book continued, I started to really like the characters. The best part so far for me, at least, is the dynamic between Ariel and his family. They're so adorable. Like they have these traditions between the families, and I'm just like, oh, that's just adorable, and I really like that. So I really like the family dynamic. I'm also really enjoying the relationship right now, or kind of relationship, like that dynamic, I guess, between Ariel and Amir. it's a little bit, you know, like a tug of war right now in terms of Ariel like trying to deny his feelings for him, and obviously his struggles with calculus. I mean, Ariel is honestly such a perfectionist, I guess, because everything that he does, whether it's studying or volunteering or doing whatever, he does his like best, and he works so hard for it, which I really admire. But at the same time, you can see that it takes a toll in terms of like his social activities. Like his best friend's like, hey, you know, like I've been trying to hang out with you, like what's going on? And he's just really focused on studying. But I'm enjoying this book a lot, guys. This book is so much better, I'm thinking, compared to Descent of the Crane. I started this book on Sunday, I think, and I'm already like a third of the way in. So definitely liking this book so much more compared to Descent of the Crane. So I'm gonna try to read those books as soon as possible, and we'll see from there. So it is now Thursday, the day after the readathon. I thought I'd give you guys a really quick update or like a recap in terms of the books I read. So I only managed to finish 2 books during this readathon, which I mean, it's not terrible. I think I wanted to read 5 books, maybe 6 books. I don't remember, to be honest. But anyway, let's talk about this book first. Descent of the Crane by Joanne He. This one is a YA fantasy. It's like Asian inspired. So I ended up giving this book 2 stars because okay, so the what I like first, the part I like best about this book is the cultural reference. I love the cultural references, specifically for Chinese references, like all the stuff that they said, because it really reminded me of Chinese like period dramas. Like I used to watch them back when I was really young. I actually watched one recently, and so it was really interesting for me to see some of the language that they were speaking. So all the terminology, I was like, yes, I totally understand this, etc. So I really liked the element there. But that was really the main part that I liked. Everything else, it was just okay. I mean, I also did like the family dynamics as well and the relationships there, but at the same time, it was still not as fully explored as I would have liked it to be, because all the characters, other than Hasina, none of the other characters were really well developed. Essentially, they were there, they played their roles, but that was it. So that's the main reason why I was kind of about the characters. Also, I feel like the ending was not great. It ended off in a huge cliffhanger, and I don't think this is supposed to be a sequel, like a series at all. Okay, it's not really a huge cliffhanger, I guess I would say. It just leaves things very open-ended. So honestly, end of the day, I gave this book 2 stars. The Asian part was probably why I gave it 2 stars. Everything else though was not great. That's why I deducted so many stars, because it was just, I just had really high expectations going in, but that was not the case at all. And also, like I said already, the writing is super choppy. Like it was really choppy. The scenes did not flow well with one another. It would just go from one scene next and cut to the next scene, which I actually had to read many times like backward just to make sure that I didn't actually miss something. So that was another big issue that I had with this book. So unfortunately, this was kind of a miss for me in this book, but whatever. The next book that I read was an ebook, and that is You Asked for Perfect by Laura Silverman. This book was so good. I gave it 4 stars. It was absolutely adorable. The best part for me about this book was definitely the fact that there was so many diversity in there, like not just for LGBT, because that's what the book was about, like that's a synopsis, but also the fact that there's so many diverse like ethnic characters in there as well. So I really liked that, and not just that part specifically, but I just liked how the author really expanded on their different cultures. Like for example, the main guy Ariel, he is Jewish, and he really talked about Shabbat and their like dinners, like all the type of food that they ate, the matzo ball soup. And I was thinking to myself, you know what, I don't think I've ever had matzo ball soup, by the way, now that I think about it, and I kind of want to get it now, because he just talked about how good it was, and he was like sharing this food, his culture, and I was like, oh, I really like that. So it wasn't just the fact that these characters were diverse, but the author really expanded on it to really explore their cultures, their food, their religion, like all of that aspect as well, which I really liked. I also thought that the author did a pretty good job with discussing about like anxiety and stress, because in the beginning I didn't really fully understand like why he was so stressed, but as the book continued, I was like, okay, this is clearly kind of a representation of like anxiety. And so I think the author actually did a really good job of presenting that, because it wasn't very obvious in the beginning, at least for me, because I'm not the best person when it comes to these type of things. But as the book continued, I was able to really fully grasp like what he was going through and kind of just go from there. So I really liked that aspect as well. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was really cute, and I liked it. So definitely recommend that one. But anyways, those are the 2 books that I finished during this readathon. Obviously not a very good job, because I didn't read The Moon Was Ours, which is the group book, because honestly I was only reading 1 ebook. I didn't get to pick up Red Sister, which is unfortunate, and neither did I pick up Setting Free the Kites. So I mean, it is what it is, guys. The 2 books is not too bad. It could have been worse. It could have been 0 or just 1. So anyways, that's it for this reading vlog. This is such a messy reading vlog. I am so sorry. I feel like this is the first time where I've done a reading vlog where I've done 2 reading vlogs like literally at the same time, because I'm also doing a reading vlog for this chunky book. I don't know if I mentioned this already. So it is literally the most hectic experience I've done in this past like week, which is not great. I feel like I should never do this again. This is not a good idea. So because of that, I feel like I'm just really scattered in terms of my thoughts for certain books, because I just have so many thoughts going on with all the videos I'm doing. So not a good idea, guys. I do not recommend this at all. So anyways, let me know down below if you had joined this readathon. If you did, how did you do? Did you do better than me? You know, like, probably, because I only read 2 books. And if you didn't, that's totally fine too, you know, like, as long as you had fun, that's all that really matters. So anyways, let me know down below which books you did finish, which books you didn't finish. Let me know down below. And also let me know down below if you'll be joining me for the next witchathon, which I think might be sometime in the summer. I feel like it's every like 3-month period of time, which is when they're doing the next one. So hopefully join me in the summer if you will. But anyways, that's all that's it for this video. If you like this video, please do give me a thumbs up, subscribe down below, don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!